Welcome to the free audiobook version of The Everyday Pain Guide, your go-to guide when pain first strikes. Hi, I'm Dr. Ya-Ling Liu, and the podcast is taking a little detour to make my new book available in an audio-friendly version for everyone out there. Each episode will feature a bite-sized snippet from the book, and together we'll work our way through as much of it as is possible in this format. What's exciting about this is that I'm reading parts of the book to you before it's even available on the shelves. Plus, unlike with a traditional audiobook, you can engage with the content and chat with me about what you hear. You get to ask questions and tell me what you think as each episode rolls out. So sit back and relax as I bring you today's installment of the second book in the Everyday Pain Guide series, Fix the Fire Damage. In the last episode, we completed the section on how to release chemical sensitivities as we work our way through the release phase of action in the second section of the book, dedicated to addressing your body chemistry for lower overall inflammation and pain. Today, we'll cover the third of the sneaky three biological quirks, environmental allergies. Thanks for your patience once again as I remind everyone that the information, techniques, and suggestions discussed here are not intended as a substitute for your own medical care. Always consult a healthcare provider before implementing any advice referenced here. Release your environmental allergies. If you had the book in hand, you might flip back to the chart that lists all sneaky three garbage triggers, and under environmental allergies, you would see pollen, pet dander, dust mites, and mold. Let's begin our look at how to release these four potential burdensome garbage items from our environment. Pollen. This is the sticky-colored dust produced by trees and flowers as an important part of their sexual reproduction cycle. Pollen blooms have seasonal fluctuations, not just springtime. And so, if you have difficulty with pollen, it might only hit you during the blooming season of whichever plant you're most sensitive to. If you see a pattern to the time of year that you experience symptoms, you might want to check what's blooming to better understand when to expect your body chemistry to be a little extra strained. Ways to cope with pollen sensitivity might include showering before bed or changing clothing when you come in from outside. Consider removing your outdoor clothes outside of the bedroom so that you can isolate the pollen-contaminated clothing away from your sleeping environment for better breathing at night. Removing your shoes before coming inside is also a good practice that can help cut down on many different allergens easily tracked in from outside. A condition called oral allergy syndrome is technically a food allergy, but also related to pollen allergies. People with certain pollen allergies, often birch and alder, can have a cross-reactivity reaction that causes a rash in the mouth and/or on or around the lips at the contact of raw fruits and vegetables. One solution is to eat only cooked versions of the trigger foods. Please refer to the appendix for a list of possible oral allergy syndrome food triggers. Pet dander and protein. Pet dander is from the endless production of skin flakes that get trapped in fur and can become airborne. Dander is often blamed for triggering allergies, but symptoms can also be triggered by the protein in animals' saliva, urine, and stool. Whether your allergy is to cats or dogs or both, you can manage your exposure in a number of ways. If avoidance is not an option, bathing and grooming the animal regularly can be helpful. Strategies to manage your air quality include adding air purifiers or avoiding carpeting where allergens can accumulate. Dust mites. These are insect-like pests that feed on dead skin cells. They are too small to see with the naked eye, thank goodness. but they are very prevalent and tend to hang out in mattresses, bedding, upholstery, and carpeting. It's likely the protein they release that can cause a reaction for someone who's sensitive. To manage a possible sensitivity to dust mites, you should consider allergen-proof bed covers around your mattress, box spring, and pillows, which trap the dust mites and keep them contained. When possible, use a damp cloth to remove dust to avoid dispersing it into the air. Dust mites thrive in humid environments, so a dehumidifier can also help. Mold. If leaf mold is your trigger, then your symptoms might be more noticeable during the autumn months. If house mold is at play, this can also feel worse during the months of the year when windows and doors have to be closed. The kind of mold that exists out of sight, in attics, crawl spaces, and behind walls, will require a professional to locate and identify it. There are services that can help remediate house mold. Opt for a service that will seal it up rather than trying to remove it, which can disrupt and release more of it into the air. There are numerous serious health impacts from indoor mold, so if you suspect this to be an issue in your home, please do seek professional help. A mold illness expert can help you sort it out and guide you to your return to better health. All of the above environmental irritants can get stirred up with the vacuum cleaner, even including ones with high-efficiency particulate air filters, also known as HEPA filters. So make sure to wear a mask when house cleaning if any of these allergens are a trigger for you. If you suspect that you have environmental allergies, it's important to be evaluated by an allergist. Even though intensity of reactions to these allergens can vary over a lifetime, the triggers on this sneaky 3 list can be tested for and will give you definitive results. Once you verify your environmental triggers, you can choose to undergo immunotherapy, which involves a rigorous sequence of injections that help teach your immune system to better handle your specific allergens. All environmental allergens are difficult to prevent and avoid 100%. While you're working to increase your resilience, either with immunotherapy or eliminating the garbage burdens that are better within your control, it can be very helpful to learn how to manage your home environment to keep allergens to a minimum. There are more resources and some advice for how to keep your home a low allergen zone in the appendix of the book. Contributors to the expression of your sneaky 3 biological quirks are all around you. But even if you are someone who has sensitivities to things in these lists, it's still possible to help your body better tolerate the inevitable exposures. When you lower your overall garbage burden, you can become biologically less sensitive and more tolerant. You might even start to better tolerate some of the big 3, like sugar. When you decrease your inflammatory reactions to food, chemicals, and your environment through avoidance or substitutions, your body gets a chance to better repair and recover from episodes of nagging everyday aches and pains. By keeping your overall inflammatory burden low, you may even prevent the onset of pain. The purpose of this release action phase is to offer ideas on how to immediately lower your potentially pain-causing garbage burden in the same way that sitting down and elevating your foot after an ankle sprain right away prevents further injury and allows healing. Please explore the retrain action phase next for ways to transform your tolerance so that you no longer have to avoid so many big 3 and sneaky 3 triggers in the future. Please also refer to the companion manual, Fix Your Body Chemistry, for more detailed guidance about how to navigate the body chemistry action plans. The companion manual is a place for you to keep notes about your journey and track your progress. That completes the first phase of the Body Chemistry Action Plan release from Volume 2 of the Everyday Pain Guide series, Fix the Fire Damage. Have you ever noticed if you might have a particular time of year when you're more likely to have surprise pain from doing everyday things like sleeping, sitting, reaching? Do you also happen to have a seasonal environmental allergy or sensitivity? Come share your experience with me and other listeners over at Better Pain Coping on Substack, where you can chat about this or any other episode. You're also welcome to just lurk. You'll find a lot of extra content, including my own thoughts that didn't make it into the book, and all the research references that informed my writing for this chapter. Check the links in today's show notes to see how you can join the conversation over there. In the next episode, we begin the second phase of action, retrain. What are we retraining? Your garbage journeys. And we're starting with the food and liquids journey. This is where we look at all the stops along the way that food and liquids experience as they travel through your body machine. And anywhere that we can refine or enhance how your body handles the incoming garbage, you'll find some easy but powerful common sense suggestions and ideas. See you then. This episode was an excerpt from The Everyday Pain Guide, your go-to guide when pain first strikes. Written and narrated by me, Dr. Ya-Ling Liu, with audio editing and production provided by Organized Sound Productions. Do you have questions or comments about today's episode? You can shoot me an email anytime at hello@stopeverydaypain.com. That's HELLO@stopeverydaypain.com. If you have friends or family members who you know are struggling with persistent, recurring aches and pains, tell them to check out the podcast while they're waiting for the book. To help me get this information to as many people who need it as possible, please consider leaving an honest review, but I'd also be super grateful for a simple like, follow, or share. Thank you for helping me put a stop to everyday pain.